You are now tuned in to the New Old Heads podcast, brought to you by BringingDownTheBand.com. No bad ideas. Coleman Dental and Printfinity. I am Major 7. I make beats and I have the t-shirts to prove it. I do not have one on today. And
Not right now.
Not right now.
Directly in front of me, the maestro. We call him Lonegevity. How are you, sir?
I'm all right. How are you?
Doing pretty good. I like the patterns in your polo there. It's dope. Yeah.
Thank you.
Your pocket game is high.
You know.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you.
Crispy collar. We see caddy corner, Letterman jacket, Adidas. His Ray Jackson game is real high right now. DJ Jay Diff.
Salutations.
How you doing, man? You all right?
Great.
I like that jacket, brother. It takes me back.
Yeah.
Your Ray Jackson game is real high right now.
Why can't it be Chris Webber or Jalen Rose?
No.
I would prefer.
Your Ray Jackson game is really, really high right now. He was a part of the Fab Five, so don't feel slighted, brother.
I would prefer.
Who do you want me to say you are?
Jalen.
Okay. Shout out to
Webber.
DJ Jay Diff got his Jalen Rose game high with the Letterman jacket on.
Yep. Got on black socks too.
Okay. You sagging? They sagged baggy shorts.
No, they just had long shorts.
Okay. Then you don't think they sagged?
No, they didn't sag.
Okay.
You ever try hooping in some sagging shorts?
I have. It doesn't work too well.
Nah.
Okay. We probably should go to Spoolz now, huh?
Yeah.
To my left,
If you want.
the incomparable DJ Spoolz.
Hello, Michael.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing pretty good, man. I see the Notre Dame beanie still repping.
Oh, yeah, man. Always, even if they were, 0-8 or 0-9.
You guys got a big game, man. Florida.
Yeah, Saturday.
Michigan. I'm sorry, not Michigan.
Saturday against Miami, at Miami.
Michigan. Yeah, Miami, Florida.
So that's a big rivalry, like, throughout history.
I'm hearing rumblings of this team is, not good like the old school the U teams, but this is the first time they've had some type of, I guess, success since not that far back. But I remember McGahee tore his leg up. That's probably the last time they were, pretty relevant.
That was a relatively long time ago.
Yeah,
too.
so they got it popping down there, man. So I
don't know, man. They really haven't, I don't care for Miami football. I never have. I mean, as a Notre Dame fan, they're probably one of my least favorite college football teams.
Fair enough.
However, I respect the pros that they've put out and the players that have come through there. Like,
they have an incredible,
for sure.
They have an incredible lineage of professionals. Like, you talk about Irvin, Ray Lewis. Like, they got some dogs.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I mean, they've put a ton of really good
Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
Edrin James.
Mostly on the
James.
defense, I would say. But Edrin, Clinton Portis.
Yeah.
McGahee had a decent NFL career. Michael Irvin, Santana Moss, all the tight ends, Shockey, Winslow, all those guys. But
shout out to Luke too, because Luke was pushing that brand as well. So
Reggie Wayne,
Greg Olson.
Yeah.
Yep.
They had some heat, so shout out to them.
And then defense, you could go on for a long time.
Yes.
Anyways, long story short, I hope we not only beat them, but beat them thoroughly. Miami hasn't really played anybody this year.
Okay.
They played Virginia Tech last week. They were ranked. Virginia Tech was, and they beat them, I'd say pretty handily. But if they can't, they've snuck by in a lot of their games this year. Notre Dame's blown everybody out, aside from the game they lost to Georgia by a point. So I feel good about it. I think they're -3 right now, so they should, they're predicted to win by 3.
Notre Dame is coming into this game ranked 3rd, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
All right. And Miami is ranked
7th.
Okay, so they definitely could jump up into the mix with the win over Notre Dame, huh?
Yeah, they would.
Okay.
Yeah, they would still have to win the ACC, though, I think.
We'll see. Episode 54, the New Old Heads podcast. I think there has already been a consensus that we were going to go with Brian Urlacher for episode 54, but it's only fair that we do the votes. Do we have any alternates, or should we just go with
Zach
that?
Thomas, Teddy Bruschi,
Okay.
Goose Gossage.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Pitcher.
no.
So no, yep, no matter what. Okay.
It's the Brian Urlacher episode.
Yeah, you guys
Nice.
are Bears.
I got an Urlacher jersey somewhere.
I do
Do
as
you?
well. I think an
Is
old
it
Reebok one.
Is it authentic?
It's got the stitching and all.
You baller?
I don't know. Am I?
Them authentic jerseys go kind of pretty good penny there.
I've had it for a few years.
Actually, one of my favorite Bears of all time, Devin Hester, went to
Miami.
Yeah, young man had a great career as a returner.
Devin Hester.
Is he still in the league?
He is.
Who's he play for now?
I want to say, and I think this is probably wrong, but I think Baltimore.
Is he returning punts?
He went to Atlanta, I believe, after Chicago.
Is he still returning punts?
I think so, and he might be like a third or fourth receiver on a team or something. He's fast. I mean, I'm sure he's lost a little bit.
Dude made a name for himself with the Bears, man. Like
he played corner, if I'm not mistaken, at Miami.
Yeah, he made that transition.
He was a cornerback in Miami?
Corner.
Yeah.
He made that transition when he came to Chicago.
Yeah.
I didn't know he played corner.
They turned him into a slot receiver and a punt returner.
Basically just ran a lot of fly routes.
Yeah, just go fast.
Just fast.
Because he's fast.
Yeah.
Or catch
got behind the defense.
Like a screen or like a little pass over the middle and just take off.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Shout out to Devin Hester, man.
Yeah.
It's loud every time you do it.
Is it?
Yeah, do it again.
Check.
You just deliberately made it louder.
Did he, though?
Every
What's
time.
Up, we're going to go through this today, man. Ray, that's what we on?
Hey.
Okay.
Call a spade a spade.
Let me live, man. Let me live, Jay Diff. Shout out to Jay Diff, too, by the way. You know, we always pub the fam.
Good job,
Sorry,
both of you.
Table almost.
Both of you.
That's what Mike normally does.
Yeah.
So I got to go through when I edit and listen for the...
Yeah. At least y'all know what goes on in post-production.
Real cool, Mike.
Yeah. Thanks, Bradley.
A lot of times it's not when he's talking, it's when you guys are talking.
Oh.
You notice how our mics are hooked up to the table, his isn't. So
Purposely, properly? Do I do it purposely?
purposely, properly,
Proper
preparations were next to that.
Pop them peas.
I was trying to give, you know what I'm saying,
Right,
brother some love. Cause,
Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Can you say that 5 times fast?
Yeah, so let's prepare to not do that anymore.
this is a terrible segue to me giving you props, bro. I want you to know that. I was about to give you props. I'm going to still give you props.
Okay.
What else we got?
You showed your ass at coaches, bro, on them 1s and 2s.
Oh, right on, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was fun.
You did your thing, brother.
That was
Halloween.
Did you play
was last
Child's
week.
Play?
Yeah.
I did.
Nice.
He did his
How'd
thing.
it go over?
It went well.
Yeah.
He started
I
off.
flew Lonebone. I played Lonely Me.
Nice.
It went well.
You know we like Lonely Me.
Yeah.
They don't know what that is yet, but we like Lonely Me.
Yeah.
You will know what Lonely Me
If you've
is.
seen cut-camp perform,
Mm.
you've seen
Recently.
Lonely Me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout
Over
out to
the past
Nabru.
maybe a couple months, few months.
But Terry did his thing, coaches last week, man, and we all dressed up for Halloween and
Yeah.
Well,
I
not
think-
all of us.
well, except for Spoolz. But that went over quite well. Instagram went nuts.
We had 9. I think the last I checked, 𝐀𝐿𝐴 regrammed us.
Fonte as well, right? Or did he just comment?
He retweeted.
He tweeted.
Retweeted, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
But it had like 927 likes on the picture on his
Nice.
page. I was like, Jesus.
When I tell you it was to the T,
Is it safe to say you guys had the internet going nuts?
they had the internet going nuts.
Like Powwow?
I actually saw it happen. Like
Oh, wow.
Baby.
I'm looking at Lone and he's you know how it'll refresh and like the numbers are going up and I keep checking it. I'm like, yo, now he's starting to get like jump shots followed into his mentions, you know what I'm saying, with some jumpers in there.
Oh, yeah.
A couple
They're
jumpers.
sneaking in your DMs.
Yeah, there's a couple jumpers on the
No,
on the
not at all,
comments.
actually. But
Yeah.
Not saying that he shot his jumpers.
I
I'm saying
mean-
there were jumpers coming in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a couple jumpers in there.
Inbound.
Got you.
But no, that was y'all killed it. Like y'all killed it. It was dope.
Hey, we were the foreign exchange, in case we haven't mentioned that.
Yes, they were the
Yeah.
foreign
Yeah.
exchange. I was dope boy.
Mike was cute.
Yeah,
Like, that was good. Your costume was good.
yeah, I had the curl. You know what I'm saying? The curl was a little hot.
Yeah,
Nick's-
it needed a little moisture to it. But it was,
Yeah, I didn't have any activator though.
I
saying.
played Soul Glow too.
Did
just
you?
for your curl, man.
Yeah, cute. Shout out to Metronome too. He ran a couple Ice Cube joints.
Hey, his LP fit was
Yeah,
pretty
it was on the
spot
money.
on.
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, I saw pictures him and Jay Moore.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we all took a picture together for an
And
exchange.
Jay Moore had the same exact hoodie
polo joint.
polo that
Yeah.
Killer Mike had too. So
Nice.
it was actually
Like
really
the black
close.
with the white.
It was like
the
blue.
horse was like
That's
navy.
like
it was
these
navy
are
blue
white,
with
though.
like a
It was blue and might have been yellow.
Gold, yellowish polo symbol.
Yeah.
But they killed it, man. Like, they killed it. So we took a foreign exchange, Doughboy, Run the Jewels photo. Came out pretty well. So that was a good time, man. That was a good time. But, yeah, you did your thing in the 1s and 2s, bro.
Right on. Thank you.
That boy nice on them tables.
You're
Appreciate
far
it.
too kind.
Appreciate it.
Maybe we should just go into the rundown.
Slick
now.
Rick was there, too.
Yep.
Oh, my man. Shout out to my man. I don't know who that was.
Yeah, I don't know.
We talked to him. Lone and I were having a drink. He came up to us. We talked to him. He had the fat gold chain.
Mm-hmm.
He had the eye patch. I think he had did he have a Kango? Did he have a hat?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But
Yeah, he was in full effect though. So
but Nick dropped a joint from behind bars for him.
Oh yeah.
Which was dope.
He was up
Because that's
front,
kind of a slept on album. So that's kinda cool.
Yeah, he my man was in full effect with the Slick Rick though. So shout out to him. He definitely there were a couple other people because they had an artist photo, but I can't remember some of the other
With some
names
girls that wore
besides
Cameron
us.
shirts.
Janet Jackson, I believe.
Yeah,
There was a Janet there. I probably
was
didn't see Janet.
50 Cent.
50 Cent.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. Slick Rick stood out to me though.
You say some girls wore some Cameron shirts?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Two
Did
pink,
they?
There's like 2 pink Cameron shirts. Yeah.
They went in there for that. I must have missed that. That's what's up.
Yerp. It was a good time
Indeed.
though.
Let's see how we got here. Now that we're all focused on it.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, very good.
Good job,
There we
Mike.
go.
Those
Congrats,
early episode practices are really paying off.
Many moons
It's
ago,
only
sir.
54.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bradley.
Yeah.
About a year ago.
Yeah, thanks, Bradley. Let's go ahead and jump into the rundown here.
Okay.
See what we got. So obviously, here we go again. Unfortunately, we have to continue to have these talks. There was a shooting in Texas. So lives have been lost yet again. I'm going to read this. Spoolz sent me a good write-up. This was from, oh, man, I don't want to misquote them.
Vice News.
Vice News. Thank you, sir. So let's pull this up. This is crazy because Lone and I were talking about this driving back from Chicago this weekend. Man who killed more than 20 people at a small Texas church escaped from a mental health facility. We're going to talk about that 5 years ago after sneaking guns onto an Air Force base and making threats against commanders. And this was according to the police. The U.S. Air Force admitted Monday it mistakenly had entered the Texas church shooter's criminal history into a national FBI database that otherwise could have prevented him from purchasing the weapon he used to kill 26 people on Sunday. The gentleman's name is Devin Kelly. He's 26. He brought at least 2 guns from a store in Texas and allegedly went to open fire at a church in Sutherland Springs, Texas, committing the deadliest mass shooting the state has ever seen.
This young gentleman.
He's 26.
Thug.
Goon, thug, terrorist.
Piece of shit.
Yeah.
I think the most interesting thing I saw about him was all the right-wing folks, not right-wing, but like extreme right-wing, like saying he's part of Antifa.
Oh, man.
Well,
Which, from what I've read in other sources, that seemed to be a little, and the left can be biased too. I'm not, you know what I mean? But that wasn't the case.
This is a true story. Lone and I were driving back from Chicago, beat Lo-Fi Social. And, we were talking about just bouncing topics around. This, it's crazy when we come back home and anything comes up. We're talking about Texas, and the first thing Lone says is mental health. And I'm like, you're probably right. It's going to be mental health. Mental health.
I mean, that's because that's what they call all of them.
Yeah, that's what he was saying,
Yeah.
though. Like, he was making the point that it's going to be. This is without knowing any of the details that we just read. Lone's like, it's going to be mental health. And I'll be damned. 45 is like, obviously this gentleman has had mental issues and all that type of stuff. So here we go again. His history will come up as mental health.
Mm-hmm.
To that you say what, DJ Jay Diff?
I mean, how many shootings have we talked about on the show since we started?
at least 2, maybe 3.
I was going to say 3 or 4.
I mean, it could be more.
Yeah, it could be more.
So within the past year, there's been at least 3 incidents.
Minimum 3. I'd say
At
minimum
least
3.
Well, Vegas, Orlando.
So Vegas, Orlando. What else was there?
Did we talk about
Did Orlando happen when we were shooting the show, or
I
was
think
that
so.
before?
Maybe I'm
Orlando
wrong.
I think
happened?
that was before.
I think Orlando happened when we were taping.
I don't remember. I remember
Yeah.
talking about it though.
South Carolina?
No,
that was
before.
That was before. Okay.
I mean,
remember.
there's been a lot, but
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, the
Texas.
rhetoric and the
It's
conversation always leads to it was mental health and just the way that it's given to the public after
Right.
it happens
Right.
is always just it's the same thing time and
I
time again.
think we can all agree that no matter what the motive was, there's probably something wrong with the person's mental health that decides to shoot.
Yeah, that's
bunch of
generally
people.
automatic.
Right.
I mean, if you think about a terrorist, like
Right.
like people that they actually call terrorists,
Mm-hmm.
they've been trained or brought up to believe that if they do a certain thing, then they're going to get all of these wives and this gold. So
Knowingly.
that has to do with the mental capacity as well.
Facts.
To know that you're going to walk into a place and blow them up along with yourself, and you're going to be gifted all of this stuff in the afterlife.
But that's only Muslim terrorists.
Right, but
Correct.
those are the only people that they want to claim
Right.
are terrorists.
Yeah, I just wanted to make. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I wanted to just make sure that I articulated that.
Yeah,
And that's what I was gonna say. That was
Yeah.
gonna be a follow up. I'm saying like this gentleman won't be recognized as a terrorist.
No, he's not a terrorist.
not
because-
even close.
Mm.
It won't even be mentioned. It won't even be thought of to label him as a terrorist.
Right.
But the question I would pose,
Dylan Roof wasn't a terrorist.
Dylan,
He had
that-
mental issues.
He's the
Yeah.
guy they took to Burger King on his way to jail,
he
right?
He had a nice Whopper on the way to jail.
Yeah, and he was the one that committed South Carolina.
See, the irony
Yeah.
is that it is mental health too. It is.
Right.
That's kind of the point I was making. Is that,
You know,
is
like
that
it
it's
is-
always mental health, but
it's
then
just-
there's usually another
it's
motive
the
or
narrative.
something
It's-
behind that too.
Mhm.
It's normally the narrative that is the issue.
The
It could be
narrative.
religious.
that
It
had-
could be
Yes.
like to the point, like you said, the narrative behind it. It
Mhm.
could be religious if you know for any religions, extremist groups,
Mhm.
because it happens on all sides.
For
right?
me,
Right.
for me, it's the
Um,
narrative.
Could be in this guy's case, it seemed like he had a history of violent behavior,
Mm-hmm.
and
It's just like, okay, fine. If Dylan Roof has mental issue, if this was a mental case, fine. If this
Right.
thing happened in Texas was a mental issue, fine, it was.
Right.
But if these other things are mental issues, let's also label them as such, and
Yeah.
not focus on the fact that, oh well, he's Muslim, or he's
Bingo.
from an Arabic country,
Bingo.
Mhm.
or he allegedly is supporting ISIS. Then
Yes.
rather than other extremists in America.
Yes.
So
well, to me, I see the problems as well as they're different in a way, right? There is a terrorism element, like in the term that everyone likes to use it, right? As far as certain religions or extremist parts of certain religions not liking America. I mean, that stuff has happened, right? Obviously, 9/11 and
right,
things like that. If you believe whatever. I mean,
Exactly.
there's some people that don't.
we ain't going there.
Yeah, and I don't want to get into that. But what was the point I was going to make? Damn it. I was on
Well,
track.
just the
though,
levels
but, like,
of terrorism.
yeah, I mean, but I've been watching the 70s. I think I mentioned this before, the CNN show on Netflix. And, like, we had a lot of what was referred to then as domestic terrorism during that decade. But it's almost like you can't, like, they don't want to call it that. But I don't know. I don't know why.
Well, but it's just the inconsistency. It's all it is. And a lot of times I hate to bring the political left-right, into it, because it's not really necessarily a political issue, but it kind of is, because a lot of times it's right-wing agenda. A lot of times that skews that narrative like that,
Mm-hmm.
of the more conservative
Let's paint a
Christian,
different picture.
Christian,
Make it
Christians
look
the
a
right
certain type of
way. I'm fine. I like all religions as long as it doesn't infringe on my America type thing, and
This is executed
excellent.
flawlessly every single time. I saw what you did there. But this is executed flawlessly.
I don't even
every
think
single
Terry or
time.
Spools know
They,
that reference.
they don't know that.
We'll have to play that.
We'll
reference
tell y'all
sometime.
about that. Yeah.
Okay.
But
It's
inside joke.
It's a grits thing.
Yeah. Shout out to Grits, man. Check on your finger, brother.
Hope it's okay, man.
Neosporin.
Sporin.
Neosporin. We need that for you, Grits. Get that. Apply it to that thing.
He got stitches.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Real quick, I mean, I kind of remember my point. It was that there's almost two different things, though. Sometimes, I mean, having people that want to come into our country that, you know, from a extremist part of another religion to hurt people in this country, that is one thing. That is different than probably what just happened in Texas.
Right.
Right? But at the end of the day, I just don't. What happened in Texas seems to happen a little bit more often in this country, I would say, than the other. But neither has pushed people on the right's opinion or swayed it seemingly in any way as far as like banning assault rifles and things
or
like
stuff
that.
like that. Anything with the
bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
It's kind of it. I agree that they are separate issues. I mean, I think it's easy to lump them together because of how they're addressed, I guess.
I think I saw something once, like an infographic, and I'm not saying, I mean, I try to read reputable sources, you know, so I'm not saying it was.
Yeah, like The Onion.
Yeah. The Onion I used just to like dull the pain, man, of other stuff I read. It's like, all right, well, this will at least make me laugh, dude.
Do you ever read an article and be like, oh, wow, this isn't an Onion article?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That
happened to me last week.
Yeah.
I thought
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but anyways.
But we were talking about, like, gun control. I don't know. I understand why, like, where it comes from, and this has never been addressed, I guess, in the country, and that is just a general distrust for our government.
Right.
And that's why a lot of people are afraid to give their guns away.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I don't.
Yep.
I understand the distrust for our government.
I understand it, but at the same time, then there's the other side of it. Well,
I just don't think anyone needs an assault rifle for personal use.
I mean, most of these
just not
killings
convinced
were done with AR-15s.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Assault
which is an assault rifle. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not saying. I mean, the idea of banning something that is scary to people that the police have, but I can't have.
Absolutely. Especially because of the police.
Yeah, you know, it's a deep, I don't know, kind of issue, and has a lot of facets to it.
I mean, I get it, but people have to own what's going on.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, this guy slipped through the cracks apparently too. I'm curious to know how that happens.
That's
someone who was
my
convicted
question.
of something that is supposed to put you on some like was able to get his hands on
that's my question.
a Bushmaster assault rifle.
Yeah.
How
Like,
how
that's
does
sad,
that happen
man.
though? Like how's the breach happen? Like that's dangerous, man. When you think about it, think about this. Like this is a guy that's listed as being or having mental issues that gets access to that. Like that's beyond that's a crazy breach. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's scary, man. Like when you think about it.
The one thing I don't really like is the mindset of, well, there's nothing we can do about it. That's the one thing that I don't like. That's, well, it's just gonna happen. So we just have to.
It's funny you mentioned The Onion because there's every time this happens, and they've been posting this article. I was talking to a buddy about this over the weekend. Since like 2008, they post the same article that says, "There's no way we could have seen this coming." It says, "Nation where this happens all the time."
Yeah.
And they've been posting the same article for 9 years now. Every time this happens, and it's unfortunately way too many times, or once is too many, right?
And then there's the gun control, the whole gun control. You can't really control guns. You can't control all that stuff issue, which is another long debate back and forth. Honestly, I don't really know where I stand on it, to be frank. And I feel like something needs to happen. I think I'm with you. I don't really think there's necessarily a need for assault rifles.
Right.
Why, it's obviously it's not necessarily the gun, but a gun makes it a lot easier argument.
Right. It's I'm not convinced necessarily one way or the other sometimes either. I mean, I see both sides of it pretty clearly, I think, and I don't.
Tough, man.
This stuff doesn't happen with the regularity that it seems to happen with in this, like in other countries.
Yeah. No, then
it just doesn't, man.
Yeah.
And you also see arguments. Well, America's a lot bigger, so I'm like, okay, there's that as well. So I don't know. People just gonna be walking around with the poles on them,
I guess. I mean, talking about guns too. I was reading a thing about Chicago, and Mike, I know you lived there for a bit, and
yes, I did.
I have some, ties up there. And
He's got one on right now too.
Yep. Cool.
Awesome.
Whoa, I'm doing some research here. Sorry about
in
that.
Spanish,
Nice.
apparently. Yeah.
Step your bilingual
But
game up.
it said 1 in 5 guns found confiscated in Chicago over the last year or something. I don't remember. Came from Indiana. I mean, just
right.
I saw something. There's enough guns in our country right now to like for everyone in the country to have like 4 or something. Like it's just that's
crazy.
That's a lot of guns, man.
I think I guess in summation of all this, and this is just the thought process I go through and stuff like this. This is awful, man. This stuff can't just keep happening. You know what I mean? It's bad.
We'll probably have this same conversation in about
3 to 6 months.
Yeah, probably.
Sadly, you're probably right, man.
I'd
but
say
we
3
have
to 6 months.
Excess, man. We have an interesting issue in our country with excess. I guess you can say that not just about guns.
I mean, that's on everything,
but drugs
in America,
and,
food,
you know,
fast food.
Yeah,
like even down to the drinks you get from places. Like if you get a drink in another country, it's like a
half
fraction
the
of
size.
the. Not even. It's more than half.
Yeah,
the size less than.
Yeah,
what it is here. It's crazy.
But
well.
I don't know. That was a swirling discussion or whatever. I guess ultimately I'm not hell bent one way or the other. I'm just saying it seems to me like a logical step in the right direction. Though would be some sort of extreme background check or heavy registration process or
it's
something
like
that.
nothing's happening.
Just to have an assault rifle.
I've seen somebody like make a point about when somebody had a bomb in their tennis shoe, and they changed the whole process of going to the airport. Off that one happening.
Yep.
These shootings happen far more often, and nothing's been done. So
there's a lot of money at stake too. I hate to say it, but there is. As far as this stuff is,
that's a good point.
Took our gerbs.
Tons of money.
You also have to put the Family Guy color portrait up to these people that are shooting and killing people. You remember that episode?
Yeah, terrorist or not terrorist.
Swatches.
Yeah. Family Guy's dope, by the way.
Thing up to his face. Oh, he's good to go. He was out tearing shit up.
Yeah.
So it's a multifaceted issue.
It is
that from a lot of different angles. So,
well,
and I understand pretty much all the angles. But yeah, let's ban assault rifles and do better at education and care about people.
That I think is a step in the right direction. Yeah.
Healthcare might be, kind of goes into that as well. Maybe
Maybe click the right buttons when you're putting someone's name in the computer so that they can't get an assault rifle.
Yeah, how about attention to detail? That might
maybe that's a typing class in high school. Maybe.
Yeah, I know, right?
There definitely should be like a harder, streamlined process in order to get some of these weapons.
You think it'd be damn near impossible to get access to some of these weapons. You think that?
If I'm not mistaken, he was discharged from the Air Force for some sort of domestic violence thing.
Yeah.
Too. Wasn't that flag? That's just, I don't know.
You think that'd be a flag, right?
Yeah. Yes, I do think it would be a flag. Yeah.
You think that might stand out a little bit, perhaps? I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching. That might stand out a little bit. I don't know.
Ultimately, though, I guess hearts go out to the people in Texas.
Yes, prayers to those families.
I saw this guy killed in one family 3 generations.
That's crazy.
Was there any reasoning behind
that?
Go ahead.
The people that belong to the 3 generations of one family.
They were saying that there were people in that church that were his ex-wife's family or something like that.
Are they saying that was a part of the motive?
I guess so.
Okay.
That's what I've read so far, too. That his ex-wife's mom, I guess, his ex-mother-in-law or something like that was there.
I don't even know. Did any of them get killed? Any of the family?
I don't think she did.
Okay.
I guess he had sent her a nasty message sometime before this happened. I don't know, man. But
we shall see. I'm like, to Terry's point, it's sad, but we always watch and continue to watch and monitor developments and things of this nature when they happen. But to his point, it's also sad to think that realistically 3 to 6 months from now, there could be another one.
It's not could. There's going to be something.
It's going to be something. Yeah, I stand corrected.
My conspiracy theory game up. It normally happens some sort of distraction of sorts.
Yeah.
But anyways,
so we'll see, man. That's that's a sad topic, but it's something that we unfortunately will have to monitor. Switching gears, we can go to music a little bit. Shout out to Yo Gotti.
We going straight to music? We don't have anything else?
What's Meek Mill?
It's
Meek Mill's. It appears that he's going back to jail
for 2 to 4 years.
2 to 4 years. He has violated his probation. It says the 30-year-old rapper was on probation stemming from weapon and drug charges he was convicted on back in 2008. He was sentenced to between 11 and 23 months in prison, but was released early. This is the previous case under 5-year probation. Parole agreement. Since then, however, he has repeatedly violated his probation and now is facing up to 2 to 4 years. Spoolz and I were briefly talking about this prior to us coming on, and I might be in the minority when I say my view on this, because I don't like to see people go to jail. I'm not for the black man in the society. I'm not for the hip-hop cops. I'm not for all that, because sometimes those convictions are unjust in my opinion. Like, it's just thirsty. You know what I'm saying? There are some instances where people are just being watched, and it's a stereotype or a stigma that's placed on hip-hop, and it's like, we'll just send them to jail. I don't think that shit is fair, and I think sometimes it's wrong. But in this instance, I have to question Meek in terms of, one, the people that you surround yourself with. To me, it's like, I would think people that I ride with, or my squad, or whatever you want to call it, my goons or whatever, like, at some point there has to be a conversation where it's like, all right, so I've been to jail, I'm out. I have to do things differently now moving forward in terms of the positions that I put myself in, how I move, attention to detail when I have to leave the country, leave the state, whatever. Like, I have to cross all T's, dot all I's moving forward, because I'm messing up the bag. Everybody talks about messing up the bag, but you're messing up the bag. Like, you've taken the bag out of the equation for possibly 2 to 4 years because you weren't paying attention to details.
You're messing up your freedom too.
Exactly. Like, I'm not
your
saying it's primarily
ability to get the bag.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
The ability to get the bag, just life, kids, family, all of that is affected by the choices that you make. And then people always tell me, well, free XYZ, free XYZ. I get that, but at some point you have to be held accountable for the choices that you make. You know what I'm saying? And I get a lot of backlash for that because, oh, you hating, you just don't want to see him win. It has nothing to do, I don't even know Meek. It has nothing to do with that. We're talking about you have been, you've had multiple opportunities to get it together, which he's taken advantage of up until this point. But it's like, yo, at some point you got to be held accountable for your choices. Jay Diff, to that you say what?
I would say, from my understanding from what happened, that the judge was actually given a recommendation concerning Meek Mill.
It was the Attorney General, I believe, that was.
Okay. So, which didn't actually include him going to prison.
Right.
Okay, that's what's up.
So,
and then the judge went elsewhere, I think.
The judge took it to where I'm sending him to prison.
Wow. Okay.
So it's not even necessary. I understand Meek may have put himself in certain situations which have brought him to this, what he's going through now. But to what you were saying earlier, he's a targeted individual, especially in the as far as the law is concerned.
I believe that 100%.
He's a hip hop artist.
Yep.
I mean, like you said, they have a whole police force targeted just to hip hop artists.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't want to see him out here making it.
But
I mean, it's kind of like the whole how Gucci kept going to jail all the time. He was always in jail. It was always something. And it's just unfortunate that he has to pretty much grin and bear it now because there's nothing he can do about it. I've seen a lot of support from like Jay-Z and
Hov spoke on his behalf.
Diddy, Kevin Hart. A lot of them have been coming to his defense because I haven't really heard of Meek doing anything
since.
I was going to ask what he actually was. It just the violation of parole this time?
I'm not sure. I think he must have been around something, or I don't think it was directly involving him.
He said I did. He said I had. He said he may have made a mistake. This was Meek in court. I may have made a mistake, but I had no intentions of trying to disrespect you. Speaking to the judge.
Mm-hmm.
So who am I to say it may not have been an honest mistake? I don't know. I'm just going off everything that I've been presented with so far. And again, it's not about me wishing bad on fam because
you never know.
Exactly.
Like police could come in here right now.
Exactly.
I could have a pistol on me
while
we're all sitting here. You could be on probation.
Yep.
they search all of us. They find a pistol on me.
Yep.
You're in trouble because you're on probation. You're around me. You don't even know I got a pistol on me.
I never knew.
It doesn't matter in those cases.
And what you just described is magnified times 10 when you look at the hip hop cops.
Yeah.
Because they'll take you can't give them an inch.
Yeah, they're getting their jollies off from
exactly.
that.
So I'm not trying to say that I'm all for him going to jail. I'm just saying it's 50-50. You got to be careful knowing that the feds are out for you automatically because you're a rap artist. And you got to move a certain way.
I'm reading, so the violations included, it was a 2009 drug and weapons case. Mm-hmm. He got into a fight in a St. Louis airport. It was part of a fight in an airport in St. Louis. He had a reckless driving charge in New York. And then he violated again in 2015. He got off with house arrest for this one.
Okay.
So what I think, and I don't know a ton about Meek Mill. I've never been a fan or really liked or disliked Meek Mill. I've never liked him enough to listen to him often, but I don't think he's awful, But
he was a beast in the battle rap scene.
Yeah, I do remember that. So, but I hear that, and to Mike's point, like I feel what you're saying, Mike. I think that the one thing we have to keep in mind though is when somebody gets money, that doesn't all of a sudden make them the best decision maker in the world. You carry whatever traits or whatever things were going on before that.
Maybe that's what I was going for. Yeah.
And I'm not saying Meek Mill is a bad decision maker. I mean, I've seen one interview with him, and he seemed like a pretty genuine dude, But I also know that if you were lucky enough to not have to do like all of your time the first time, and you got probation, like 3 violations is like, what are you doing, man?
That's my point.
That's true.
Like at some point there has to be some sort of accountability, I think. And 2 to 4 years seems, I don't know. I don't know what his original case, I guess I don't know enough nitty-gritty detail about this to have a huge opinion.
I mean, the sentences that they hand out, okay, so they're letting you out of jail.
Right.
They know what type of environment that you're going to be in.
Yep.
They know that. And they're tacking all of these years on 2. It's not even probate. Was he on parole?
Let me pull it up. I think it said parole, but it may have been probation.
Okay, so he had like 5 years.
Yep.
So that means if he does one thing, he's right back in there.
And he did 3 things.
And that was started in what year?
2009, I believe.
2009.
Well, that doesn't count because he went to jail after 2009.
Oh, that's right, yeah. So I guess it would have started because it was 5 years. I don't know. I'd have to. I don't know enough.
He got out in 2015 or something like that.
Probation officer.
So
it was like 2015.
So he violated probation.
I'm guessing. It said.
Let me go back.
I don't know. I guess overall, what I'm saying is it's happened. It happened multiple times, and again, while I see the side of you're not, money doesn't all of a sudden make you,
repeatedly violated probation. That's what it says.
Yeah, so the sentence was handed down by a judge against the recommendation of assistant district attorney and probation officer. So
there it is.
So that's pretty much the judge trying to show who has the biggest balls.
Yeah,
that's
and
how that
could
is.
be. I mean, this had to have been the same judge that the 2 times previously, like let him, didn't put him in jail.
And I'm thinking the judge is looking at this, and don't quote me on this. I'm just going off what we've been presented with. It's kind of like I could see a judge being like, "Yo, I've given you
excuse me,
mad shots." You know what I'm saying? Like to Spool's point, he read off 2 or 3 instances. Mm-hmm. So either the judge is maybe trying to be a jerk, like, "Yo, I'm gonna make an example of you," or it could be, "Come on now, we've been through this 3 or 4 times since you've come out of jail." Like I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's a slippery slope, man. I'm not.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so if this was the 4th time or the 5th time or the 6th time that he had been involved with something, would that then justify him going to jail for his original sentence?
I want to know what he did.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
What was the actual
original
violation?
2009?
No, I want to know what he did.
The violation
right
for the probation.
now
Yeah.
is for the reason that he had to go back to jail for 2 to 4 years.
In 2016, Mill was placed under 90 days of house arrest for violating probation due to unapproved travel.
Remember I talked about clearing it with the state when you're leaving the state or leaving the country? Maybe that's what it was. Could be.
Which seems like a small thing, but at the same time, it goes back to the accountability. You know what you have to do. You know.
Here we go. The rapper, born Robert Williams, was arrested in March after a fight in the St. Louis airport, though those charges were dropped.
Right. Airport.
In October, he pleaded guilty to reckless driving after a video was posted of him doing wheelies on a dirt bike in New York City.
Really?
Get your people, man.
Get your people, man.
I'm not trying to go to jail for popping wheelies for 2 to 4 years.
Well, so you probably wouldn't, would you? Would you lay off the wheelies?
Straight up, I'm gonna say this.
I'm
gonna say this. I didn't even know you could go to jail for popping wheelies. I didn't know that.
You can't. Depends on what they were.
If you're driving recklessly while popping
also,
wheelies.
sometimes cats in New York City just go on the streets and bring dirt bikes out. They've been doing it for years.
It's like the Rough Riders videos.
They ride crazy
Stuff like
in Philly
that.
like that.
But yeah, if he got caught doing 80 down like a street in New York City, like that's just not a good idea. Is the point that I'm getting?
That's not a good idea, but shit. 2 to 4 years for popping a wheelie. All right.
I think
that's not the point. Like if you did it tomorrow, you wouldn't get 2 to 4 years. You know?
I get what you're saying.
We're talking cumulative though.
Yeah.
I'm talking that sitting over your head and potentially influencing every decision you make until it's no longer hanging over your head.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, it's a mindset thing to me. And again, I haven't been arrested. Thank the Lord, I ain't been arrested. Knock on wood. But it's like, yo,
he just can't get right. Maybe
he just can't.
It's a mental health thing. Let's just call it that.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Perhaps it's a mental health thing.
No, man. I hope it works out in the best.
I hope it does
for him.
Too for him.
You know, at the end of the day, like again, I don't know enough of the like fine details to have like a huge opinion on it. But sometimes, I mean, I feel like what Mike's saying, like to a good degree. Like sometimes you just, you know. Like, if I went out and did something stupid tomorrow, like, you know, I should be held accountable for it, you know. However, I do understand, though, with entertainers and especially rappers, that there is a whole part of the police that's looking specifically at them. And, like, I do understand, you know, the socioeconomic parts behind it. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So
that's real.
It's
real.
It's deep. It's also a deeper topic.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah. You got a lot of people that they're answering to that don't have as much money as them. And they're like, well, I can dictate how you move.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn your water off for a couple years. See how you like that?
Yep. I mean, I don't know. But, man, I hope it works out for him. And
yeah,
he,
shout out to Meek, man.
You know.
Again, we don't wish bad on anybody. You don't want anybody to, you know, have to.
He's been taking too many L's, man. He lost
I mean,
his
I'm curious to know
girl.
what his original charge is, too. Like, if it's a bag of weed or something, like, that's a stupid charge. That shouldn't, you know, in my opinion, like, it's not.
And, you know, it's a lot of that going on. So now you have, and I don't know if this has anything to do with Meek at all. I'm just saying, speaking in general. So with people that are catching weed cases or whatnot.
Right.
You have states in the United States that have legalized weed.
Yep.
They've decriminalized it technically. But
They glamorize it on TV shows, this, that, and the other. But then on this hand, you have people that are still catching horrendous cases behind marijuana selling and use. And it's pretty much just based off of them not being able to profit off of it.
Facts.
The powers that be, that is.
Facts.
So they don't like to see how you move and you're making a living or whatnot. They can't figure out a way to make you pay for what you're doing. So they criminalize it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have all these other states that are just, you can go get weed brownies and gummies and have a great time.
I'm not even going to get started on
then
the whole
a state over
discussion. I'll talk for like 5 hours about
it.
It is
crazy.
Ridiculous, dude.
It's ridiculous,
it's
man.
Insane.
It almost pisses me off because I know people that it's affected personally.
Oh, dude, there's a weed charge. I mean, if it's a felony, like I think for a while, I don't know if this is still a law, like if you had it over an ounce, that was a potential felony charge.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
really?
Not,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean,
Is that like
not
an
a
intent
lot of weed.
to distribute or something? Is that
Sometimes they would try to get you with that. If you had a scale, you definitely got intent to
Mm-hmm.
distribute. You know, but it's a joke, dude.
It is.
It is, man. I know people too. A lot of people that, you know, a weed charge, and it's affected their lives to this day as far as getting certain jobs and
And then you have these other people on the other side that are making millions of dollars off the industry. That's sad.
What's funny is I'm surprised. So, just weed. I would think the math would tell us that the federal government could profit off of this tremendously.
They could.
You know, but I think it would upset too many people if it became legal.
It's about
for
the
a number
regulation
of
of it
reasons.
too. I mean, it's just like alcohol. Alcohol wasn't legal at one point in time because they had to figure out how they were going to get their money on it. Once they figured that out, then it was made legal.
It was only illegal during Prohibition.
Right.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
Yeah.
That came from a lot of that came from temperance movements too. That didn't work out very well.
Yeah.
Not well at all.
Yeah.
So we'll see, man. With Meek,
it's wild, dude. Yeah.
I think Meek is hopefully Meek had Dude stayed in the studio, so hopefully he had a lot of records, you know what I'm saying, in the chamber.
I'm pretty sure he's good as far as that's concerned.
He's probably got a lot of records in the chamber. He's just gonna have to there'll be a lot of evaluation and he'll have to sit and, you know what I'm saying, think about some of his choices. Sentence might get reduced. I don't know. I'm not the legal expert, but we'll follow up as we do with everything else and see how everything goes with him. Let's see what else I got for you. Papa John's. Man, I know we talked about sports on the intro with the college sports, but now it's time to get to the NFL. NFL.
Say that again.
Time to get to the NFL.
Oh, okay.
Never mind. I didn't hear
it. You would not hear it.
No,
I just thought it was
I didn't
funny.
I didn't hear what Terry was.
I think it's
at.
funny. You'll see it later.
I probably will.
Check this out. So, NFL leadership has hurt. Papa John's shareholder says the chain's CEO, John Shatner.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, you don't care. Okay.
John Whack Pizza.
John Whack Pizza. In a call with analysts Wednesday, this should have been nipped in the bud a year and a half ago. Side note: Jerry Jones down in Dallas owns 120.
Second largest
Papa
shareholder.
John's, second largest shareholder in the company.
That's
so Mr.
kind of awesome.
Mr. Neal, prior to the anthem, is out there investing mad bread. No pun intended to Papa John's. How about that?
Bread and ketchup.
Bread and ketchup. To
and
that
cheese.
Longevity. To that you say
much.
What? The irony?
I don't have anything to say to that.
It is.
It's just so stupid.
It's stupid. At this point, it's stupid.
It's like, Jerry Jones actually is the second largest shareholder. Go figure.
Yeah. Oh, it's like, you couldn't have written that better.
Wow.
You don't say. 120.
And Roger Goodell's the third. And yeah.
Well, P Money got a few of them.
P Money does, man.
It's like,
P Money was getting bread.
Mike's distraught now. No, don't touch P Money's money.
Yeah, man. Leave P Money's bread out of this, man.
Leave Master P alone.
Yeah, he's retired. Leave
He's
P out of
amazing.
this. Yeah.
Best thing ever.
Yeah.
Damn right. But no, this is crazy, man. Dude, the whole Jerry Jones, we talked about him fake kneeling and we talked about
everybody knows about Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Bruh, he's about the paper.
Everybody
he's always
knows,
been about the
everybody
paper.
knows about Jerry Jones.
Bruh, it's crazy. I did not know though that he had 120.
People that agree with Jerry
know that
Jones know about Jerry Jones.
They do. And it seems like they push to the side who Jerry Jones really is for the sake of, I don't know, the Cowboys or whatever the hell it is.
Like he's like the poster child of the extra Jerry Jones.
Dude.
He's the extra.
It's
of
circus
everything.
shit though.
Built $1 billion stadium.
Yeah, with the biggest jumbotron ever.
Yep.
Because.
He's
it's called Jerry's World. That's what it's low key called. That's what. Yeah.
He's about the bottom line. Period. And the bottom line is those dollars.
And that pizza.
And the pizza.
Shout out to that pizza and that sauce.
It ain't even about him though. What's it about dumbass John.
Yeah. John, who's apparently, since this has come out, like everybody talks about how faded he always is in like every picture. He's just lushing it up that's funny.
Yo, and the thing about it is we always talk about this.
Maybe he's not allegedly faded. There we go.
None of this has anything to do with what Cap originally.
No, it's
nothing. It's a crying
we are
shame.
so far off the original
so
path.
far.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? A year and a? I think is it a year going on a year and a half with Cap?
Yeah.
In terms of its initial
started the preseason in
stance
2016.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
over a year.
So, do you know how far we've gone off what he actually kneel for now in 2017 in November.
Hey, choose your own adventure. Whatever you want it to mean is what it
Yeah.
means.
Let it mean what it want to mean.
Yeah. I woke up today and decided that him doing that means that we're not supposed to eat fast food anymore.
Yeah, I decided that Darth Vader's actually not the villain.
That's what he's doing that for?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Makes perfect sense, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw this out.
The Jedi Council is actually evil.
It is actually evil.
Yep.
Think about it. Bars.
All because
Those are
Kaepernick
bars.
kneeled.
Yeah.
Bars.
Who
Yeah.
was that?
Tomato sauce.
I always
and
get
bread,
this wrong, but I'm
ketchup,
gonna guess
and
Spoolz.
cheese.
Mozzarella cheese sticks. String cheese.
And some
Yeah, I'm
garlic
good on, dude.
butter.
Papa John's sucks, dude.
I'm gonna guess on this one, Spoolz. Don't get mad at me if I guess wrong.
I don't get mad at you, man.
Okay.
Ever.
So
It's not.
leave that alone.
It's not anger.
It's not anger.
Continue.
No, man.
All right, so I'm gonna take a guess
Shit,
here.
no.
No.
It was Spoolz that said, I know I get y'all confused.
Wrong. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah,
No, man.
See, it was Spoolz that said there was something about
Mary?
get your boy, man.
Sorry.
Ray Jackson. Come on, man.
Continue. Sorry.
I told you I will not be addressed as Ray Jackson.
He really want to be
No,
Weber.
man.
All right.
Jalen.
Jalen, I'm sorry, whatever. Spoolz. Was
Yep.
it you that said Ursay had a conversation, or was it Tony Dungy that had a conversation? Something that was tied in the cap. Was that you that said that?
no.
Okay.
No.
Well, let's see. Go ahead.
I
said
think we
that
should
he- I
still
said they
keep
just-
talking about the pizza.
I said they just talked about Andrew Luck, but yeah.
Oh my God. We ain't,
I say we should just join on the pizza.
I fool with Andrew Luck, but he's still in that bread from the Colts, low key.
You guys want to get a pizza?
Not a Papa John's pizza.
No.
I didn't.
Shout out
I've-
Little
dude,
Caesars.
Papa John's is not.
Yeah,
Good.
that's why they
I-
give you the little pepperoni and the garlic butter, because you need the garlic butter
They give
to
you
make
what?
the pizza. The pepperoni.
Spell that.
No, I'm not about to spell it.
I actually don't mind Papa John's.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
There's about 5 other places I'd rather get pizza from.
Oh,
than
absolutely,
Papa
but
John's.
I don't mind it. You know,
Did you buy-
I don't
did-
think Domino's is really that much better.
Did you buy?
think it
I don't
is.
think Pizza Hut's
crust is
really
a lot
that much
better.
better.
Yeah.
I think it
Did-
depends on
Pizza
The
Hut's-
breadsticks at Papa John's are trash.
Yes, they are.
the breadsticks are. I like their.
It's
cheese
just like
sticks a little bit,
twisted
though.
dough, just thrown.
It is. It,
Pretty
it used to
much.
be just dough. And I was like, this isn't a breadstick.
Yeah.
No
this is
flavor.
Dough.
No flavor.
Nah.
I'm a fan of stuffed crust pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Pizza
you're
Hut.
not getting that from Papa John's.
No, I also like the local stuff though. I'm a Bazbo's fan.
Bazbo's is really good.
Giacomo's
Yeah.
fan.
See, I
I've
like
had-
Hot Box better than Papa John's. For
I've
sure.
had Hot
Yeah,
Box.
definitely.
I
I don't
haven't
like
had
Hot Box
Baz
at all.
Bowls. I don't know
you
what
don't
Baz
like
Bowls
it, or
is.
you've not had it.
I don't like it.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh man.
But I've only
Box-
had it twice, and it's been a long time. So
Hot Box give you dope cups too. Shout out to Hot
Yeah.
Box.
Mhm.
every time I've got Donato's, it's been burnt as well. So
Really? I worked at a Donato's during college.
why are you always burning pizzas then? That's what I
delivering
wanna know.
pizza? It was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you? I see you stunning him right there. I like that.
Yeah,
Um,
you know.
What
I
was the other
didn't.
one?
I didn't
that you
burn
named?
anything.
Baz. What was the other one?
Baz-
Bazbo's, there's one in Broad Ripple,
Yeah.
and Giacomo's. There used to be, well, there still is one. They actually started that new location out in Lawrence, but
They
it's also in,
legit?
it's in
Mhm.
Irvington.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're
Like
dope.
56th east of Post, right?
New
It's like
Bethel
it's right in the
Ordinary is
Harrison.
good,
It's
too.
in the
Yep.
little town center there.
That's what's up.
Back when I lived out
Roselli's
east.
pizza is really good. It's Chicago style.
All right.
And there's a couple Chicago style
Magoo's.
places here now.
Magoo's is pretty good.
Magoo's.
Yeah.
What side of town?
West Side.
Okay.
Never had it.
It's
Me
good.
either.
Check
It's
it
one
out.
on I want to say West 38th.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Paisanos is good too.
Paisanos is pretty
Paisanos.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You writing them all down so you can check them out?
Y'all not. What about Napoli's? You guys been there?
Nah, man.
Oh, I thought you
Napoles?
was. You was doing something on your
I
phone.
think so. Is it
Not
like
my
fire
business,
grilled
man.
pizza? Fire.
I can't
Maybe.
see.
I know there's a few of them.
There's a couple of those spots that have popped up too,
Yeah.
like the fire oven pizzas.
I
or
like
whatever.
Fire Oven Pizza. What's that? There's a place in Castleton Mall, like right next to. Is it next to Cheesecake Factory? Maybe there's a.
That's Keystone Mall.
You're right. It is.
I'm asleep.
So it's not. So it's not Cheesecake Factory. That's next.
Are you thinking about
What am I thinking about? It's like right off.
Giordano's?
No,
Giordano's is dope.
No. I've been to Giordano's.
They got one here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it real?
It's two of them. It's
on
one
the north
downtown.
side.
Fishers.
I love Giordano's.
There's one downtown and one on 86th Street, I believe.
Giordano's is the truth.
Oh, it is 86th. The one that.
It's right next to that sub place too. I remember.
We went to Giordano's when we visited Pete's Sake, right?
Yeah, about a month ago.
Yeah, that was dope.
I'd say my
So who
favorite,
wins,
though.
Giordano's or Lou Malnati's?
Giordano's.
How do you say it?
Lou Malnati's.
Malnati's.
What did he say?
I'm going Lou Malnati's, man.
I said Lou Malnati's.
What did he say at first?
Lou Malnati's.
What did he say?
I don't know. Same thing.
You'll just have to see it when we read it.
I'm a
We're not going to do all this spelling and repeating and stuff.
Tell me you messed up.
We're not gonna do all this spelling.
No time for that.
Chris Rubber's mad at me.
No, I'm not mad at all.
It may be.
Yeah.
You know why I'm mad?
All right, so, dang, that went kind of fast, huh?
What else we got?
Well, I was gonna jump into some music. We had some.
See, y'all gonna see why this is funny later.
What's
That's
that?
why I laughed at you.
Oh, come on, man. This is sad.
What's drop? I know some stuff dropped in the last week. I know Static Selector's getting ready to put out a project called 8, I believe. And
I like Static, man. I think he's
dope.
I think he's underrated as a producer.
Always solid. His compilation projects are always dope.
Yep.
But the single they put out was with Run the Jewels. It was pretty dope.
Really?
Pretty good.
Mhm.
What's the name of the record? You might know the name of the record.
Put Jewels on it or something.
Something like
think.
that, yeah. No, Static Selector's dope, man.
I think he's very underrated.
Yeah, he's super
He's got some
underrated.
heat.
He's worked with everybody.
The track list is crazy.
Yeah. Dope features.
Yeah.
I've
And it's
got
people
a couple of his, like the Lucky 7 joints, though.
Mhm.
The one before this, right?
everything he puts out is really consistent and good. And he puts artists on his production that you wouldn't necessarily think would rap on his production.
He
you
and
know?
Freddie Gibbs had a dope EP,
Yeah.
man, a few years back that was cold.
Oh, EP. I remember I've heard him on
Yeah.
a couple tracks. Like
Him and Gibbs make good records, man.
Crit's been on some project or
Yes.
two of
Yeah.
his. Sean Price. That's the first time I think I heard. No, that was Apollo Brown, where I heard West Side Gun. But yeah. Anyway,
Rose Spit and 14KT put out Rose Gold.
Oh, yeah?
I like that
Yep.
mix. Yeah, I heard a couple of their joints online. I saw on his Instagram he's playing some heat.
I'm a big KT fan.
Yeah,
Very
I
talented.
gave it
super
I
talented.
gave it one spin. It
Super
sounded pretty
talented.
good.
A$AP Rock dropped a video for Hot Dogs,
oh yeah,
which is the video, the proceeds to benefit I forget what, I think it's called Grind for Life. I'm not sure what that actually is, though. Flying Lotus dropped a video.
I fool with Flying Lotus.
It's the theme song for his 𝗏𝗄𝐿 film, which is I haven't seen
crazy ass.
It's
Yeah,
probably
Yeah.
gonna be dope.
nah. Have you seen the? It's disgusting.
it yet.
I have not.
Quite
Like
weird.
it's like
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
It's
Out there, but still creative and well done, or is it just
I mean,
like
you
weird?
might not be able to stomach it.
Oh, it's that bad.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd take
And
a
I'm
look
not
at it.
saying that like is you won't stomach it because it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just the content in it is freak. Is
Yeah.
is nuts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take a look at that.
Mm.
Yo Gotti dropped I Still Am. I ran that a couple times. I for some reason I've always said this. I like Yo Gotti for some reason. I don't know why. I think he makes some of the best street music.
You don't have to have a reason why you like him.
I can just like him. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like. There's something about Yo Gotti that I like. He's not the best lyrical rapper, none of that. But there's something about the records that he makes. I'm like, yo, dude is solid.
yeah he's
So,
cool, man.
Like what you like, man.
I fool with Yo
You
Gotti.
ain't got to give these folks no disclaimer on why you rock with Yo Gotti.
I appreciate you,
If
see
you,
well.
if you want to throw some speakers in the back of your car,
Yeah, and bang,
yeah, do you, man?
415s.
Yep. 612.
612.
612.
Would I have to have a good set of tweeters?
Yeah,
I would
and
think
some
so.
6x9s.
Mhm.
They got to be wired into
knitter-
your Memphis 6x9s. Wire them in there,
And a nice
like I
amp.
did. I had my little tweeters on my Trans Am wired into my 6x9s,
Banging.
Yeah.
banging without a sub.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got pulled over twice because of my tweeters.
High. All
way
highs.
back in the day,
Mm.
before I got a sub.
Yeah, Lone did have that work in his car. Don't get it twisted.
Y'all ain't mess with that Chris Brown album with 45 tracks
I'm still
like he's E40.
I'm still listening to it, man.
I've not.
I'm still listening to it.
Man,
I think I'd rather listen to E40.
45 tracks.
I know I'd
though.
rather listen to
Yeah.
E40. Yeah.
Why would
He's talented, man. Chris Brown
Yeah,
is talented,
he-
man.
he's got some good projects. I ain't gonna front. But 45 songs?
jams, man. That's a lot of records, dog. That's a lot of records, man. For anybody, that's a lot of records, man. And he gave instructions about how his fans should stream it and the best ways for him to get the best results from the streams and the most hits and all. I'm like, bruh, that's a lot of records, man.
That's neat.
Clearly, Lone ain't going on Chris Brown. We can add that.
He ain't feeling
we
breezy.
can add that to Nasir.
Yeah, I'm
Marquis,
actually okay with that one because I'm not really a fan of Chris Brown.
Chris Brown.
I think he is talented, but
he's very talented.
Nah.
He got some good music, man. But
brick, yeah.
Sean said he can dance better than Chris Brown.
Who said what?
You seen?
We got the video.
Yeah, you saw the
seen the
Instagram
video.
Yeah, I go to my Instagram if y'all want to see that work. He definitely put that work on there.
You got served.
Me and Kenny dropped a single last Friday.
Yep.
𝗡𝗲 𝗀𝗃.
You premiered that on
Mass Appeal.
There you go.
Yeah.
That album is going to be very, very good. He released the artwork yesterday.
Yeah, we announced the album's going to drop on December 1st. So we've
Merry Christmas.
We premiered the we premiered the 3 bonus tracks. And then we've had 1 album single. So
I've heard it. I'm just very excited for other people to hear it. It's a
Merry Christmas.
It's a damn good project. Now, am I missing
Metronome.
Am I missing anything? Anybody got anything popping coming up this week?
There's a Bringing Down the Band event, a little sponsored event. If you want to talk about that. Saturday. I'm actually doing another event, so I won't be there.
Okay.
So I'll talk about that one first. I'm doing a art gallery. I'm DJing for an art gallery, which is opening up above Sharp Blue downtown.
Nice.
Gary Brackett owns the place.
Word, okay.
But I'm DJing for Kevin Nance West, who's a local artist.
Nice.
Who's pretty successful. So I'm doing his art show. And then there's the what's the name of the event on Saturday?
It's called Break the Chains Off. It's a Spirit and Place event. It's at 𝐀𝐿𝐹 Institute.
Nice.
From 6 to 8, I believe.
Same place the build is at, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's from 6 to 8. It's going to be hip hop. It's performances, and it's all based around power.
Word.
So it's themed. So that's cool. Also, Saturday night is Moonchild. We'll be in town.
Back at the
Hi-Fi,
not Jazz Kitchen. Hi-Fi. Okay. We saw him at the Jazz Kitchen.
That's this Saturday.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if we can get in there and talk to them again. So
they are dope, man. We love them. I think that's gonna do it for episode 54. Remember, bringingdowntheband.com. No bad ideas. We always got that work. Our Patreon site is popping. We got a lot of stuff going on there. Shout out to Lone rocking a hat. He never rocks one. He looks like Jim Furyk. So make sure you guys visit us on bringingdowntheband.com. We got a lot of good stuff going on. Lonegevity, a.k.a. Jim Furyk. DJ Jay Diff, a.k.a. Jalen Rose. And to my left, as always, the incomparable DJ Spoolz. I am 𝗀𝗄 𝗢𝗋. We appreciate your support. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.